What are the things that make us love a person? Think about someone you genuinely love. Isn't there usually some degree of respect, some ability to trust them, the feeling that they are reliable, that their words mean something, and that you can count on them? Perhaps a sense of acceptance, care, and understanding? So, what if we applied the same idea to the relationship we have with ourselves? After all, there's one phrase that has become almost ubiquitous in the self help realm: self love. We are constantly told that self love is the path to a happier and a healthier life. And honestly, I have tried. I've tried to fake it till I make it. I've tried telling myself to love myself despite my flaws, to be kinder and to accept myself. But what I've come to realize is that you can tell yourself that you love yourself 100 times and still not quite believe it. At least I couldn't. And strangely, though, what did help me develop a little more kindness towards myself, a little more respect, and a stronger sense that I'm valuable wasn't by simply telling myself to love myself, it was by learning to trust myself. And one of the ways by which we can build that trust is incredibly simple. Just do what we tell ourselves we are going to do. And that's where today's Motivation Monday topic comes in: discipline. We often think of discipline as forcing ourselves to do something unpleasant, right? Like waking up when we don't want to, studying when we'd rather scroll, exercising when we'd rather stay in bed for some more time, going to sleep on time when we'd rather watch one more episode of our favorite show. And yes, discipline sometimes requires exactly that. But I think there is also another way of looking at it: discipline as an act of self love. Because every time we tell ourselves, I'll study for an hour today, I'll take that mock test today, I'll wake up early tomorrow, I'll go to bed on time today, and then actually follow through, we are doing something much bigger than just completing a task. We are honoring our own word. Imagine you have a friend who made a promise to you and then kept on breaking it repeatedly. Eventually, you will stop trusting that friend. You'll stop relying on that friend. And I think the exact same thing happens internally when we keep repeatedly breaking promises that we made to ourselves. Yes, we all have bad days, but when breaking our promises becomes a pattern, something happens to our self image. We stop trusting ourselves. We stop loving ourselves. If so, then the opposite is also true. Every time you keep a small promise, it becomes an evidence. When you said that you would work for an hour and you did. When you said that you would take a test and you did. When you said that I'll wake up at the right time and you did. You are slowly building evidence that you can trust your own word. And discipline gives you evidence that you can trust yourself. So, does that mean that if I don't study on one day, I can't trust myself? I think you already know the answer to it. Of course, there will be days when we are tired. Of course, we will all have 0 days. Of course, we might get sick or be tied up with some other commitment. And we might eventually fail to keep a promise here and there. But discipline is never about never breaking a commitment. It's about becoming someone who returns quickly to the commitment instead of completely abandoning it. So perhaps it is time we stop thinking of discipline as punishment or discipline as being absolutely strict and harsh with ourselves, and instead start seeing it as a step that we take because we respect ourselves enough to take our own word seriously. Because every time we keep that small promise to ourselves, we are saying that my goals matter, my future matters, my word matters, and I matter. Over time, those small acts of self respect build self trust. And perhaps that trust is what makes genuine self love a little easier. Not because we have convinced ourselves that we are perfect, but because we can start trusting and believing that we will show up for ourselves. Because self love isn't something that we simply think our way into, we build it one promise at a time. So, this week, don't try to transform your entire life. Make one promise to yourself and then choose discipline to help you keep it. Because sometimes the most powerful way to tell yourself that I value you is by showing up for yourself. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, one more attempt, one day at a time, and I'll see you in the next video.